All right, welcome back to WMAC Now with your host Chuck Stevenson, coming at you with a big announcement. So, Japanese all-women's mixed martial arts promotion Deep Jewels has announced their 39th numbered event. Deep Jewels 39 is going to go down on Wednesday, November 23rd at New Pier Hall in Tokyo. Gotta be honest, Wednesday really caught me off guard. It's kind of nice though, because I usually have Wednesdays off. We'll have to see if I have this one off. Probably going to stay up and watch it anyway. Just think it's very interesting that they're choosing to have it on a Wednesday of all days. But we've got 9 fights, 9 pro fights, which is more pro fights than usual for Deep Jewels. And they're going to be capped off by a Bantamweight title fight as the champ Yoko Higashi will defend her title for the first time. Looking at the fighters on this list, they should be familiar to everybody. If you're a regular follower of this channel, then you're going to know a lot of these names. If you're a follower of Deep Jewels, then you'll know almost everybody, if not everybody. So it's a good list of fighters. The matches are pretty good. A lot of fighters coming off of losses, but then it just happens. You know, Deep Jewels is a smaller promotion. They don't have a whole ton of fighters, so a lot of people are going to fight each other, and some of them will fight each other more than once just because it happens that way. But I like the roster. There's a few very interesting fights on here. We've got a promotional debut for one fighter who's been fighting in other promotions, and now she's made her way to Deep Jewels, which is interesting to see. And we've got some favorites returning. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, this is not going to be an in-depth breakdown of each fight and each fighter. This is just an intro, so we're going to keep this fairly short. So first up, we have a bantamweight bout between Urena Horguchi and Juicy, whose full name is Sayaka Hijinuma. Horguchi comes in at 1-3. Juicy comes in at 1-1. Don't have an age available for either fighter. Now, Urena is coming off of a unanimous decision loss to Marina Kumagai back at a Deep Tokyo event in May. Juicy also lost to Chiko Osoya back at that same event in May. So both fighters coming in off of a loss here. The real interesting thing is Juicy making her bantamweight debut. She started off at lightweight, and then I think her second fight was at featherweight. Now she's moving down to bantamweight. So we'll have to see if she can actually make bantamweight. She's a hefty gal. Next, we have a minus 54 kilogram catch weight, which is about 118.8 pounds. We have Mana taking on Hitomi Tanayama. Now, I believe both of these ladies are making their debuts. I could not find info on any of them, so I don't know their age or if they fought before or who they fought. Most likely it means that both ladies are making their pro debut, and it's definitely a pro bout because it says right on the thing there that it is a 2-round 5-minute fight, which is typical for Deep Jewels. So we'll see debutante versus debutante. Someone's O has to go. Then we have another bantamweight bout. Marina Kumagai taking on Chiko Osoya. Let's see. Kumagai comes in at 2-4. Osoya comes in at 1-0. Kumagai is 34 years old. I don't have an age for Chiko. Let's see. Kumagai is coming off of a decision win over Urena Horguchi at Deep Tokyo back in May. And let's see, Chiko Osoya comes in off of a decision win over Juicy at that same Deep Tokyo Impact in May. So we've got two ladies fighting each other. They're both coming off of wins over two ladies who were fighting each other in the opening bout. Kumagai getting a rare win for her. Chiko looks to improve to 2-0. So I like that Deep Jewels is getting some bantamweight fights in. You know, they crowned a bantamweight champ. So now they've got to have some bantamweight fighters and, work to build a contender for their champ to face. Next, we have a strawweight bout. Mika Arai taking on Maki, or Mahi. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Arami coming in at 6-6. Now Maki, I believe, is making her pro debut because I can't find anything on her. Arami is 28 years old. No info on Maki. Arami last fought at Deep 108 Impact back in July. She scored a unanimous decision win over Kate Lotus Oyama. I'm always down for an Arami fight. She, much to the detriment of her record, but to the delight of fans, she openly states, if they call me to fight, I'm showing up to fight. I don't care who it is. I don't care what weight it is. I mean, she started out as an atom weight and then pretty much has been fighting at a straw weight and even at times at flyweight ever since then. So she's not the best fighter, but she always puts forth a good effort. And like I said, she's down to fight whoever, whenever, wherever. So that's basically how I will watch Arami's fights. Then we have another strawweight bout. Longtime veteran Mika Nagano taking on Arisa Matsuda. Nagano coming in, she is the much more experienced fighter. 18-12-1. Matsuda is coming on off of her pro debut. She's 1-0. Don't have an age for Matsuda. Nagano is an elder stateswoman of the sport at 38. She's coming off of a submission win over Tomoko Inoue at Deep Jewels 38 just last month in September. Matsuda's coming off her pro debut where she took a TKO win over Chisato Wada at Deep Osaka Impact in August. This is basically supposed to be another gimme fight for Mika Nagano. She's been a popular fighter for Deep Jewels for a long time, and Jewels before that, for a long time. You can't tell by this current picture, but she was like the pretty girl of Jewels for years. Like she was the pretty girl fighter. And she took some time off. She's had almost several mini retirements, and she's back now. And it's they're just giving her easy fights. I'm not a fan of it, but there's nothing I can do to say anything otherwise. Possibly Matsuda might get the win, though. You never know. I mean, she might be better than what her record suggests. She's only 1-0. We just don't know. And Nagano's not getting any younger. So we'll see. But as always, I'm not a fan of this type of matchmaking. Then we have a flyweight bout. Aoi Kuriyama taking on Shoko Fujita. Both of these ladies last fought, or not last fought, but both of these ladies did fight in the Deep Jewels flyweight tournament. Both of them coming up short. Kuriyama coming in at 3-4-1. Fujita coming in at 2-2. No age available for Fujita. Kuriyama is 27 years old. Let's see here. She's coming off of a unanimous decision win over Tae Miyama at Deep Jewels 38 last month in September. Fujita hasn't fought since she lost to Rin Nakai in the semifinals of the Deep Jewels flyweight tournament. That was back at Deep Jewels 36 in March. No, actually, I think that was the quarterfinals. I believe that was the quarterfinals. I could be wrong. Feel free to correct me in the comments. But let's see. Both ladies, looking to improve here. Kuriyama looking to even up her record. Fujita looking to get past that 500 record. I like watching both these ladies fight. I mean, neither of them are particularly great. Neither of them are going to be phenomenal from what I've seen so far. But they're entertaining to watch. Fujita has some decent boxing from what I've seen in some of her fights in the past. And Kuriyama always brings a crowd with her. She trains out of the Smokers Gym in Osaka, and they always bring a a decent sized cheering section for them. So should make for an interesting fight. Sticking at flyweight, we have Miko Nirvana, or Mikiko Hayama, but better known by Miko Nirvana, taking on Nori, who is making her Deep Jewels debut, as far as I can tell. Miko Nirvana coming in at 3-2. Nori coming in at 4-5-1. Nori is the younger fighter here. She's coming in at 24 years old to Nirvana's 29. Nirvana last fought. She dropped a split decision to Shizuka Sugiyama at Deep Jewels 36 in March, part of the Deep Jewels flyweight tournament. Nori is coming off of a split draw against Aoi Kuriyama at Pancrase 328 in July. Interesting to see Nori over here at Deep Jewels. She's been a Pancrase fighter most of, if not all of her career. So just very interesting to see her over here, but maybe Pancrase didn't have a fight for her, so she's coming over here. Nirvana had a very close fight against Shizuka Sugiyama, almost finished her with an armbar, and Sugiyama had a ton more experience, like over 5 times the experience of Nirvana, so almost had an upset there. This should be a fun fight, Nori is part of that. She's a former Team Date member, now on Team Pravajra. Very, very JMMA is how I would describe it. So looking forward to this one as well. This might be the bout I am most looking forward to on this card. So much to look forward to with this one. Minus 49 kilogram, which is 108 pounds, bout. Basically the Ryzen super atomweight class, and we all know that Deep Jewels is a feeder to Ryzen. So they keep booking these 49 kilogram bouts, even though Deep Jewels doesn't have it as an official division. But we have the former strawweight champion, Miki Motono, coming in at 7-3, taking on former Deep Jewels atomweight title contender, Moeri Suda, also coming in at 7-3. So both fighters have the identical records. However, big age difference here. Suda is 18 years old. I think she's finally finished with high school. Motono is 10 years the elder at 28. Motono is coming in off of a submission win over Mizuki Oshiro Nisei at Deep Jewels 36 back in March. So she hasn't fought in a while. Whereas Suda, on the other hand, is coming off of a unanimous decision win over Aya Murakami in the main event of Deep Jewels 38 last month in September. This is an interesting one. We have I think she's a one-time or two-time Ryzen veteran in Suda, also the former atomweight title contender, taking on the former strawweight champ, Motono. Interesting thing to note is that Motono, I'm not sure if she's still there, but she was in the U.S. training in Las Vegas at, what is the name of the gym? I can't think of the name. It's escaping me. Anyway, she has been training in the U.S., getting in some training there. Well, it'll be interesting to see what she brings back. I was listening to a podcast with, I believe he's her manager, or at least he knows her really well, Shu Hirata, and a friend of the channel, Charlie Jewett. And they were talking about her experiences over in the U.S. and the differences in the training. So it'll be very interesting to see what she brings to the table. And Suda was a fighter who started out at like 0-3 or 0-2, and then has been like improving ever since then. So yeah, to me, this is the fight to watch at this event. Finally, we have the main event, Bantamweight Championship. The champ, Yoko Higashi, coming in at 7-2, taking in on Diamond Rose the Rocket, coming in at 0-1. Not the type of fight you want to see for Higashi's first title defense, but we'll talk about that in a second. Yeah, so Higashi's coming in at 7-2. Diamond Rose coming in at 0-1. Don't have an age available for Diamond Rose. Higashi is 36. She's coming off of a unanimous decision win against King Reina Miura, or King Reina, at Deep Jewels 37 back in May. Now, Diamond Rose coming in off of a loss in her pro debut. She lost via submission to Rin Nakai. No shame there. At Deep Jewels 26 in October of 2019. So she hasn't fought since before everything got shut down due to the pandemic. Should be an easy win for Higashi. And I don't know if they're just giving this to her as like an easy win for her first title defense. Just like a, hey, here's a bone. You know, throwing her a bone for her first title defense. I don't know if that's the intended goal, or if this is like, here's like a stay busy title defense fight while we try to see who is going to face you next, or who's going to be the next title challenger, because they have one. They have 2 other bantamweight bouts on this card, and depending on who wins those and how they win those, you know, the winner of one of those bouts will likely be the next title contender. Or they might have those fighters fight again in the meantime before Higashi defends her title again in order to truly build up a good challenger. So while I don't like the matchup, I think I understand what Deep Jewels is trying to do here. This is basically, hey, you haven't fought since May. Get this first title defense in, get it done, and we are working on building up a contender. I hope that is Deep Jewels' plan. Otherwise, this is just can crushing. I mean, it's still, in essence, can crushing, but it's reasonable can crushing because they're preparing a much better fight down the road. I hope that's what they're doing. So there you have it, Deep Jewels 39. Now it goes down Wednesday, November 23rd at New Pier Hall in Tokyo. Most likely going to be online pay-per-view for like $20 or something like that. Got 9 fights capped off by a title bout. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments down below. If you liked the video, please give it a like and share it as well to your social media. Help the channel grow. While you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to WMMA Now, the best, most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.